everybody. Welcome to Death Ground Reviews. I'm the host, Alan Huntsman, and I got with me Rami Ungar. Welcome, Rami.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
And today we are talking about the horror movie Hell House LLC. So this one came out, what, 2015, was it?
I think that's about right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, release date October 16, 2015, at the Telluride Horror Show. Looks like is where it premiered. Directed by Stephen Cognetti, written by Stephen Cognetti, and it was starring Ryan Jennifer Jones, Danny Bellini, Gore Abrams, Jared Hacker, Adam Schneider, and Alice Balke. And I think it's the perfect setup for a found footage horror film.
I agree. I mean, it's a mockumentary or pseudo documentary. For those of you who've never seen it or heard of it, it's basically this documentary is made about this incident at this haunted house attraction, like the ones where you go through and people in costumes scare you with and it's all a bunch of fun. And anyway, it's about how this one haunted house on its opening night has this horrible accident happen, and like 17 people die. But there are a whole bunch of questions involved, and uh, there's a good chance a lot of people were murdered, and there's all sorts of rumors and conspiracy theories flying around. The documentary tries to get to the bottom of it while also using footage that the haunted house's crew, the Hell House LLC, he filmed during the making of the haunted house when they were setting up. And I wanted to mention that because this actually is a film that gives a good reason why nobody ever puts down a camera. Like in found footage films, they just always have the cameras and they're just always on. But in this film, they actually give a good reason for why these people are carrying around cameras the whole time, and it works. It
Right.
works.
Because yeah, they're trying to document their work, and also you got all the security cameras trying to keep track of everything going on in the haunted attraction. And as you were pointing out, Rami, in your summary there, a lot of mysterious things happen. And that's a key ingredient, though, with the horror genre mystery. And I bring this up because so many times when I read about other people talking about a horror movie they watched or a horror book they read, I always see arguments going on about, oh, I thought this part was just too vague, or oh man, they showed too much, and there's such a challenge there with the horror story, trying to find that perfect medium of how much to reveal. You know how Stephen King used to joke, sometimes you reveal too much, including the zipper along the monster's back. This question's still on my mind. I'm still a little undecided. Do you feel they were too vague with details in this movie, or did you think it worked for it?
I think, I mean, they did reveal some things like when a camera would capture there's something really creepy in a split second, they would go back to review it, like show, okay, in this frame, there's something creepy here. But they did, I think they did a good job of keeping things just vague enough that who that you both understood, you got a general idea of what was happening while also keeping things appropriately vague. I mean, if you want to get full answers, I mean, that's what the sequels are for. There are two
Oh,
sequels,
okay. Yeah.
and from what I understand, when it comes to scaring you silly, they're not very good, but they do a lot to explain what happened in the first film. I heard the second film described as sort of like a well-intentioned mistake or a well-intentioned failure. And I've just heard a lot of complaints about the third film because it just spends its whole time explaining things without really getting in that's scary. And I mean, if you want to watch that shit for if you want to get some explanations, watch the sequels. But if you like that era of mystery, just watch the first film and leave it at that.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the idea that it's being haunted by either ghosts or demons or cultists. You're not exactly sure, but it's all sorts of creepy.
Interesting fact here about production. So they were looking for a variety of different places to film. Eventually, they settled on The Haunting of the Waldorf Hotel in Layton, Pennsylvania. And
I
it
think I've
was
heard
run
of
by,
that place.
oh, have you heard of it? Yeah, it was run by Angie Moyer, and she also became the film set designer too. So,
Yeah, actually, I remember reading something about this. It was that they actually changed parts of the story as
yeah,
well as the setup of the house in order to match the hotel, which honestly is a smart move.
yep, indeed. Yeah, it says right here the script had to be changed in a few areas to reflect the change in setting.
Well, it was a sort of an indie production. I mean, you don't have, you can't exactly build these fancy sets in a sound stage. You have to work with what you got. So if you find a good building and you can use it, you use it.
Yeah, and it fits that grittier feel of the found footage concept. So, what Rami would you say was like one of the more disturbing scenes for you in this movie? What really got your hair to raise on the back of your neck?
Oh my God. There are two scenes that especially come to mind that freak me out still. One is when those two guys, Paul and I want to say his name was Lance, they go down, or maybe it was Mac. They go downstairs and they keep finding some weird stuff going on, and one of the clown dummies, clown mannequins, just keeps popping up in weird places, and it's
Oh, yes.
like it
That was
freaking.
creepy.
But the part that really had me shaking was when Paul wakes up in the middle of the night and there's a ghost in his room.
Oh, man. That was the scene I was going to mention too.
That see, I was watching that movie on my tablet, and I'm just sitting there watching that scene, like, oh my god, this is actually really freaky. And then there's this loud noise, and I dropped the tablet.
That was the creepiest
I
scene
think
for me too, because it's the way it builds up. Because he covers the camera with the blanket for a period, then he peeks again, and she's a little closer, and then suddenly her face is right on him, and
and she's
yeah,
never blinking. She
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
blink. That honestly was the freakiest part. And I had to go back a few times and watch that part again because that just freaked me out.
Oh yeah, yeah. That got chills stirring through me. Another scene for me, it was the moment when they're trying to call Paul, and that shriek comes out of the phone. This was after that scene we were just talking about, and that shriek wells out of the phone. Something about that, man, disturbed me too. Such a small part of the film, but it worked for it. Just got a sense of this guy is in some other worldly place, man.
Maybe he actually did find the gates of hell and now he's stuck there. He does
Maybe that
act,
was maybe that was souls from hell screaming through the gates.
yeah, that's a possibility. It's probably something that the second film and the third film go into, but I'm not gonna watch it. I don't want to have my experience ruined by too many answers and not enough scares.
I also thought that the girl that played Sarah, I thought she did really well in the interview scenes because she had this very deadpan, kind of disconnected quality, which made sense because she experienced this horrifying trauma. But then also, it's suggesting the other aspects that we don't want to give too much away. But
Spoiler warning.
right. Immediately it clicked to my mind and I went, that's why she was acting so funny, you know. A lot of people complained about the ending. They said it didn't stick for them. Some folks said the ending felt like an afterthought.
I thought the ending worked very well for what they were trying to accomplish, and Honestly, I think they did a very good job. I also think that I mean, the design of everything, the hotel and the props. I mean, the hotel, well, that they were working with what they were able to find, as I said, but they really took it and they ran with it and they did an amazing job. You would actually believe this is either a real abandoned hotel or a real set they built up from the ground because it looks so well done. It looks like it was a real hotel and a real haunted house, and it was a real hotel, but
Right.
honestly, you wouldn't believe it. You think it was a movie prop. I also like some so many scares. I love how that's designed because it's such a minimalist design. I mean, it's just it has only black makeup, eye holes, black stuff around the mouth, and black stripes and pom poms on the suit, and that's about it. And it's just really freaky. It's very uncanny valley. And when it shows up in weird places or scares the bejesus out of people, well, it's very effective because it works on so many. It works with its design and the mode of the film to just freak people out.
You had said there, they worked well with what they have. And, it goes to show that limits sometimes are an advantage for creativity, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can accomplish a lot more with a lot less. I mean, look at other found footage films that did not have multi-million dollar budgets, like Blair Witch Project or Paranormal
One
Activity.
we've got
The
to
original.
watch, by the way. We got to watch Blair Witch sometime.
Oh, I've seen it once, and once was enough.
You didn't
But
like that one?
no, I didn't. It
Oh
just
man. See,
did, but
funny story here. So I saw that movie, Rami, when I was like 11 or 12. Okay. I thought it was totally real. I watched it and I was so terrified, man. I was, skittering through the shadows of the house after that. I couldn't sleep a wink. Every bump, every scratch in the house was stirring me with terror. Part of me wants to watch it again to go, what on earth would I think of this movie now?
yeah, I saw it after I knew the whole story and I had some idea of what the ending was, so that kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, those films, like Hell House LLC, they did not have the biggest budget, so they did what they could with what they had.
Man,
And it made them have to come up with more practical effects, put more emphasis on atmosphere and tricks of the camera so they could. And honestly, the experience is a lot better than what you might have, than what we've gotten with other found footage films that had bigger budget. It's and a lot more special effects, including CGI. I mean, I love As Above, So Below, and the the Taking of Deborah Logan, which are two other films we should probably watch on the is in and discuss on this channel. But they definitely he had bigger budgets and it shows in certain places.
it brings to mind too. This is a famous movie, Jaws, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Right.
So I mean, that shark was notorious for not working, always malfunctioning in the water. But
And you can
Spielberg
kind of
used that.
tell, you can
Yeah, yeah,
kind of tell it's a big puppet when you see it finally jump up onto the boat at the end.
right. And but Spielberg used that to his advantage, creating the point of view camera angles and not showing the shark for like what 2/3 of the movie, and keeping that mysterious. But man, that made that movie as suspenseful as it is. So he used those limitations to his advantage for sure.
So yeah, if
By the way, though, that did give me an idea for a story, though, and I might have mentioned this to you. A story about an animatronic shark created by a marine biologist. Okay, and it stirs up something evil, maybe in a shipwreck, and then becomes possessed. So it's kind of like Stephen King's Christine possessed car story, but with a possessed animatronic shark, and goes around and eats people.
That would be fun. That would be funny.
You could get away with it, even though it looks fake, but it is fake. It's just possessed.
Oh, I don't know if you could do this in the story. I don't know if the song is copyrighted or trademarked, but you could have Baby Shark play at some point during the story, and that would just so totally set the animatronic shark off. What was that song? You're playing that song? I'm gonna kill everyone.
There you go. Even got a theme song for it. But
Just got to check to make sure that you can actually use that song because God forbid you actually do something, and you publish it, and all of a sudden you got lawyers on your ass.
last thing I need. Golly. So let us know, folks, what your thoughts are on Hell House LLC. Have you guys seen it? Did you like the ending? Did the ending work for you?
What was your favorite scary part?
And let us know any recommendations for horror movies that you would like to watch and discuss.
I can think of about 20 right now that we could discuss, especially since the spooky season is imminent. Only
That's right.
7
Right around the corner is Halloween, guys. We need
at the
something
time
extra scary for the Halloween period.
at the time we're recording this, we're about 76 days away, so might as well get something on there.
Absolutely. Let us know, guys. But yeah, this has been Death Reviews, and we will see you next time.
Pleasant nightmares, kids.